7 years ago, I had befriended a coin dealer in the Rochester area. He had given me too good of a deal, and he kind of regretted it. And so the following time I went to a coin show and he was there, he made up this story. I didn't realize he had made up the story at the time, but he said that I had shown up 5 minutes too late. Somebody had just came and bought all these coins, and I was kicking myself over it. I thought I really did miss out on a deal. And so the next time I went to that coin show, I made sure to show up early. We used to have a quarterly coin show, and I waited outside the door that time. And I thought for sure that somebody was coming in to get these good deals at the beginning of the show. And so, if I remember correctly, the coin show begins at 9 in the morning. I was waiting outside at 8:45, and sure enough, the dealer came, and he said, "You're not going to believe what happened." I said, "What happened?" He said that he was on the highway when he saw a familiar car, and it was one of his customers, and he bought all these coins off of him. And by this time, I knew he was lying. I didn't want to point it out to him, but it was so obvious. It was kind of like bait and switch. He wanted to get my hopes up and dash them and hope that I'll buy something else. I never really fell for it, though, because I used to love to look for deals a lot. And so the fact that I went out of the coin show empty-handed really didn't bother me so much. I would go to another show, go to another coin store, or go online. Never seemed to bother me so much. But he would do this a lot. And eventually, I went to the show and I asked him, "Well, who did you run into this time?" And he kind of had to step down from that. And I eventually got a few more good deals out of him when he realized his tactic wasn't getting anywhere. But unfortunately, I went on Facebook, and he's in the hospital right now recovering from the new variant, apparently, of COVID-19. It just goes to show that you never know when you're dealing with somebody who's making fun of you or embarrassing you, or whatever the case is. Even if the situation seems kind of awkward at the moment, you never know when you'll see this person next, or when they'll be on the news next, or when something bad's going to happen, or something great's going to happen to them, or something's going to happen to separate the two of you, right? And it's really made me, awakened me to the fact maybe I need to dial down some of this frustration I have when I run into situations like that. I have a habit of getting into road rage. That was one of my New Year's resolutions in 2021, which was to relax when I drive. A lot of times I'm not really angry when I'm getting into road rage. A lot of times it's actually loneliness. I'm on the highway, I see something funny, somebody cuts me off, and it doesn't bother me. I'm not in a hurry or anything, but I decide to honk my horn just because I have nobody else to interact with, right? Especially during COVID-19. And I think that would be the end of it, but this guy responds, and now it's just very heated. I need to stop doing that. We never know when it's going to be our last moments, or when it's going to be somebody else's last moments, or when a relationship is going to end, or you never know, right? Anyways, I wish him well. He's kind of in a high-risk group. I had two friends who were not in high-risk groups who passed away. So, anyways, just try to think about that. If you know of anybody whose life has taken a turn for the worse, whether it's because they actually got COVID-19 or because they got impacted by the lockdown, just try to remember what their life was like before then. Try to remember what your interactions with that person was like before then. Put that into perspective.